If you're searching for the best dog bed for large breed dogs with joint pain, picking the wrong one doesn't just waste your money. It can actually make your dog's hip dysplasia, arthritis, or elbow pain noticeably worse in as little as a week. Let's look at why that happens.
Most of the orthopedic beds you see advertised are, frankly, pulling a scam. They use just 1 single inch of real memory foam, and they glue it right on top of 4 inches of cheap, shredded filler. Within 30 days, that filler flattens out completely. This leaves your 90-pound lab or Great Dane sleeping directly on the hard floor.
The reality of online reviews is pretty shocking. The top recommended bed on half the review sites out there actually failed our pressure point test for dogs over 80 pounds. Meanwhile, the bed that earned our #1 overall spot in this buying guide costs $70 less than the premium brand most vets sell right out of their clinics.
To find the actual truth, we tested every bed on this list with 7 large and giant breed dogs with confirmed joint issues. These dogs ranged from 75-pound German Shepherds all the way up to 160-pound Mastiffs. We evaluated each bed across 5 non-negotiable scorecard metrics: fit and comfort, durability, safety and practical risk, ease of use, and value for money. We're counting down from number 5 to our definitive #1 pick starting right now.
Coming in at number 5, the Friends Forever Orthopedic Dog Bed.
This is the top-selling budget orthopedic bed on Amazon, and it works decently well for lighter, large breeds. Looking at the construction, it uses a 4-inch solid memory foam core with a 1-inch plush pillow top. For dogs between 75 and 90 pounds, it absolutely delivers decent pressure point relief. But for dogs over 100 pounds, the foam compresses so much that hip and elbow points press straight through to the floor, even when the bed is brand new. Also, while the faux suede cover resists light scratching, it tears easily if your dog likes to dig or nest before lying down. Here is how it scored on our Pet Scorecard rubric. It pulls a 7 out of 10 for fit and comfort and a 6 for durability. Safety and practical risk and ease of use both earn an 8. Value for money gets a 7, bringing the final letter grade to a B-. So, the crucial point here is that this is a solid entry-level option if you're on a tight budget and your dog has mild morning stiffness, but it will not deliver clinical support for severe joint pain or dogs over 110 pounds.
Let's move to number 4, the Casper Dog Bed.
This premium bed costs almost twice as much as our previous pick, but we found a critical design flaw for dogs with severe back or hip issues. The core features 2 layers of pressure-relieving memory foam totaling 6 inches thick. For dogs lying fully in the center of the bed, the pressure point relief is excellent. But when a stiff, sore dog puts weight on the side of the bed to stand up, the foam completely collapses all the way to the floor.
The core problem is that there is 0 edge support. Your dog has to scramble for traction every time they try to rise, which puts painful extra torque on already sore hips and knees. Compounding this scramble risk is the lack of a waterproof liner. One accident from an incontinent senior dog soaks straight into the foam core, which is practically impossible to fully clean, and that traps permanent odors. Looking at the scorecard, fit and comfort gets an 8 out of 10 because it's great for lying down, but ease of use drops to a 6 due to that lack of waterproofing. Value for money scores a 5. With a final letter grade of C+, the reality is you are paying a massive markup for a brand name here, not practical orthopedic support.
Number 3, the FurHaven Ultra Plush Sofa-Style Bed.
This pick solves the access and waterproofing issues entirely. It features a 5-inch medical-grade foam core with supportive 3-sided bolsters. What makes it fantastic for senior dogs is the open front design. Stiff dogs simply don't have to step over a high edge to climb on. The cover zips off completely and is incredibly easy for owners to machine wash, with a waterproof liner protecting the core.
However, there is a very strict limitation you need to be aware of. For giant breeds over 130 pounds, the foam compresses completely flat within just a week, offering absolutely 0 support. It is strictly for dogs under 120 pounds.
Let's review the scorecard. Fit and comfort is an 8, and ease of use hits a massive 9 out of 10, the highest of any bed we tested. It earns a final letter grade of B+. At $75 to $110, excellent ease of use makes this the best mid-range option on the market for dogs under 120 pounds with moderate joint pain.
Moving to number 2, the Big Barker 7-inch pillow top.
This is a heavy-duty, vet-recommended bed that offers flawless clinical support. Structurally, it is perfect. It uses a 7-inch solid, high-density orthopedic foam core that simply will not flatten, even for 150-plus pound giant breeds.
In fact, pressure mapping tests show it reduces joint pressure points on hips and elbows by a clinically proven 88%. It has solid, firm edges that do not collapse, allowing stiff dogs to push off safely from any side.
The Scorecard is incredibly strong. Perfect 10s for fit and comfort and durability. It guarantees 90% loft retention for a decade, but it earns a final letter grade of A- instead of an A+. Why? Because of the massive $240 to $400 upfront costs, plus the fact that a necessary waterproof liner is not included and will cost you an extra $35. It's an incredible bed, but the price keeps it out of our top spot.
Which brings us to our definitive #1 pick, the Kopeks Orthopedic Memory Foam Bed.
This bed delivers the exact same clinical support as the Big Barker, but it costs a fraction of the price and fixes every single flaw we found in the competition. Let's look at how this builds a perfect sleeping surface. The Kopeks uses a 7-inch dual-layer core featuring firm, reinforced edges that will not collapse when your dog stands up. It also features a low 2-inch entry explicitly designed for stiff seniors so they don't have to lift their legs high to get in. And crucially, it includes a full waterproof internal liner right out of the box.
Here is our final A+ scorecard. Perfect 10s across fit and comfort, safety and practical risk, and value for money. It handles dogs up to 180 pounds. Pressure mapping shows an identical 87% pressure reduction to the Big Barker, and it lasts a decade. Best of all, it completely dominates the competition on value, retailing at just $120 to $180.
So what should you take away from this explainer? Here is the decisive final verdict. Buy the FurHaven if you have a tight budget and your dog is under 120 pounds. Buy the Big Barker if you have a giant breed and cost is absolutely no object. But for almost everyone watching, get the Kopeks as the unhesitating best overall choice for clinical joint relief.
The right bed doesn't just give your dog a soft place to sleep. It reduces their daily pain, slows joint degeneration, and gives them more active, comfortable years. Stop wasting money on hype and thin orthopedic beds that flatten in a month and leave your dog limping. Subscribe to Pet Scorecard to score the gear before you spend, so you can get evidence-based reviews that actually help